What up, hustlers?
I
Yep.
was kind of, those stories that you see on like Facebook ads where people talk about how they had no money and they were living in their car and all that stuff. And I've never wanted to do one of those ads, but that's
Yep.
kind of my story. I was married very, very young.
Yeah.
I was
Yep.
19 when I got married and immediately started having kids, and we were just dirt poor. And then
Okay.
I I didn't work because we ended up having three kids with autism. So
Okay.
I couldn't have a job because I was full time trying to take care of them. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
I ended up going through a divorce. And in the process of that
Yep.
divorce, I lost all of my support system because I came out of the closet. So,
Fair enough. Okay.
in the world I was in, I was married to a pastor. So, in the world I was in, I
Yep.
just pretty much lost all support. So, all of a sudden, I'm a single mom, three kids with autism, and
Yeah.
trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. So, I decided I had to first get a job. So, I did that right away. I went out, just found whoever would take me with like no experience, nothing,
Yeah.
right? I hadn't worked in 7 years. So, I ended up, at a sales position, front desk at a massage MD. And
Cool.
I knew in order to survive, I would have to put myself back in school. So I immediately enrolled online. So I basically was taking care of my kids. I worked part-time and I went to school full-time.
Yeah.
And
Well,
the
that'd have
struggle
been, yeah,
was
very difficult to do.
real.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So while I was in school, I was like, this gives me some time to figure out what to do, right? So I ended up just doing a ton of research. What kind of job can I do online? Where can I go? I knew I couldn't do a 9 to 5. That was just not going to fit into my life. So I had to figure
Yep.
out what to do online. And that's when I learned about social media management. And I was so surprised that
Cool.
it was a job. Like, wait, you get paid to be on Facebook? Like, people
Yeah.
pay you to do that? This is amazing.
Win.
So,
Yeah.
so I did the research, and I initially started doing it for my partner's company, just kind of tinkering around, and um,
Yep.
quickly realized that's what I wanted to do. So the moment I graduated, I started a business.
Yeah. Fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, it's certainly all worked out in the end, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Because I mean, yeah, that would have been such a challenging thing to go through, and for what you've managed to accomplish now, and with everything you've done phenomenally. So, congratulations in that regards.
Thank you. Yeah, it was
So,
one of those crazy journeys where if it didn't happen to me, I wouldn't really believe it.
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, no, that's it. And really, you just don't know what path you're going to go down until it happens. So, you really just put in the hard work and manage to juggle exceptionally well. And yeah, it's all kind of come out the other end. So that's amazing. So yeah, I mean, when you did start learning about social media management, what drew you to that? Was it just that being on Facebook, or was it just that it was something you could learn or self teach? How did that come about?
Well, it was something that I could learn on my own, which was very important to me. And it
Yep.
was something that did this combination that I found unique and wonderful, which is basically taking the creative and the analytic and bringing it together. Because, a lot of people look at social media and they look at, what that is, and they think it's all just, creating little cute graphics and posts, and that's it. There is that aspect of it. Like, you have to kind of be good at creating the content. But beyond
Yep.
that, you have to learn how to look at the analytics and how to make changes, and putting those two things together was just really drew me in. And then
Yep.
once I knew about social media management, I got into Facebook ads, which is like, social media on steroids. And,
Yep.
the next
Yeah.
thing I knew, I was in deep.
Yeah. Nice. Well, that's it. I mean, once you figure out how to leverage Facebook, it just opens up a whole new world.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. So, with your business, so do you still run it on your own, or have you what's happening now? Have you got a team going, or because 0 to 10K a month is quite a big deal for many. So, I imagine that's
Yeah.
quite time consuming. Or do you at least have like virtual assistants or?
Yeah, so I have a virtual assistant who basically helps me with my business. She doesn't work on any of my client work. And then recently I hired my best friend to start learning how to do social media with me. And
Yeah,
so
cool.
she's just now like starting to help me with client work and content and all of that. So I'm slowly building a team. I wanted to have a right-hand person that I trusted.
Yeah,
And for me, that was more important. Like I felt like she could learn how to do it. Um, and having somebody that I trusted on my team was the most important thing for me for my first like real hire. But I know
yeah.
next is going to be somebody who does some of the technical stuff that I don't quite want to do, which is I admit it. I am so not a funnels person. Like it just stresses me out and makes me want to throw my computer out of a window. So
Yeah, that's a fair call. Yeah, because I mean, if anyone at home has ClickFunnels, like it is fantastic, but sometimes just it's so glitchy, and it just does my head in.
yes, I I have cried over ClickFunnels. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's
Yeah,
just me. It's funny because people think social media, you must be really good at technology. I'm like, actually, no. I'm really technologically impaired. So
yeah,
I'll take the
fair enough.
help,
Technophobic.
where I can get it.
Yeah. Well, that's great though. I mean, with everything, figuring out how to do it and working through. So with your new hire, with your friend coming on board. So what I guess for those listening at home, what direction did you give her in regards to where to start learning the whole process?
Um, I actually enrolled her in the same course that I initially enrolled in to start learning social media. And
Yep.
then I've basically had her do a ton of research and look at what I've been doing. And I'll show her like my client work and say, all right, what can you tell me? Like, what do you see as the pattern here? What's working? What's not working? And just by having those conversations and asking her the questions, I could tell, what she's getting. And then she'll do like sample work for me, and I'll go through and I'll show her exactly why I've changed something. And honestly, it's taking more time for me right now to lay that
Yeah.
foundation. But even just in the past month that we've been doing this, the past week, I've seen the difference of like she doesn't need as much hands-on because she's learning as she goes, and so it's
Excellent.
working out pretty well.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, that's the thing. I mean, once someone starts to learn that skill, then it's just a case of just practice makes perfect. Amanda's
Exactly.
just jumped on there saying she wants to learn Ruby solely to get Russell Brunson to hire her to fix the biggest issues of ClickFunnels. But yeah, I mean, we just did a live sales training a moment ago. It was sales training for introverts, and yeah, Amanda was the guest on, and yeah, it was just about we were discussing just practice makes perfect. So even if
Definitely.
you're new to something, it's just over time you can learn those skills, and then it's less hands-on for those around helping. So no doubt, very very quickly, especially if in the last week you've noticed a big shift in difference. Then within a
Right.
matter of months, she'll basically just be on auto drive, and she'll just come to work and get it done, and
Yeah.
it'll be all around smiles.
Yeah, hire smart people. You know what I mean? Like just hire smart people. You cannot teach certain things, which I
Yeah,
think there's an innate understanding of how to learn that people need to have, and then there's also like you can't teach kind. You can't teach being a good
yeah,
person. So those kinds of
absolutely.
things, hire that first, and then go from there.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's well said. Because yeah, sometimes it's if you're hiring someone in a particular position and they certainly have some great strengths, but some of their other personality traits clashes with your goals or the direction that you want to take things, it's not going to work out in the end. So,
Yeah.
absolutely, I think that's great that if someone's intelligent and, they are kind and all that, then they're going to be much better off to work with than someone that's intelligent, but they're grumpy as and they're just, they're not pleasant to work with. So, yeah, I completely agree
Yeah.
with you in that respect. Yeah,
And
no,
if you
nice.
hire a friend, like I'm no dummy. We've been through many fights before, so I hired somebody that I knew I could argue with, and we would be
Yep,
friends at the end of the day. Like we could slam our
great.
computers
Yeah.
down and be like, "All right, let's go get coffee."
Exactly. Let's hug it out. We're just getting a coffee and then
Exactly.
just the day goes on. Yep.
Or depending,
Yeah,
if
nice.
we need something stronger than coffee, we can go there.
Hey, who doesn't like an Irish coffee here and there? Yeah, but no, that's good. And it sounds like from everything that's come along, it's fantastic. So, how long have you been in business for now? That you've been going through?
So February will be a year. And,
Yeah.
when I say I started in February, I mean, I really started in February of last year. So sorry, hold on. I'm a little shaky here. Um,
No, that's cool.
I started just on my own, putting myself out there in February. I don't think I got a client for 2 months. So
Okay.
it took a little bit. In those early days, you have nothing on social media. I didn't have a website. I had nothing to really show. So I took a few internships in the first 2 months and just started working as hard as I could to get those results. Learning on the job, I think, is the best way to do it. So.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. So Hassan's just had a question. Will there be an allocated Q&A time? Well, Hassan, typically just ask the questions and then throw out organically if we can get to them, and we'll get to them. So thank you for tuning in there. But no, that's great. I mean, if you just start in February and, in basically a year, you've done great things. So that's awesome. So
Yeah.
what do you think in regards to the direction of the company? So what do you think is going to be next on the list in where you're going to head?
So I want to keep building on my client list. I have some of the most amazing clients that I'm thrilled to work with. I see more and more we're going towards Facebook ads, but I still
Yep.
genuinely think that people need the social media management piece too. So I'm not like going
Yep.
completely towards Facebook ads, but kind of a combo. And honestly, I see myself having really two businesses, one for the agency side. I actually have a partner who does video work, and she's starting
Cool.
to focus on social media videos specifically. So
Yeah, nice.
video for your ads. I don't know if you ever took a look at my site, but I have like a 60-second video series, and they just give you a ton of social media tips. So it's something to check out.
Oh, yeah.
But
At the end, if you could put all the links, I'll definitely have to check that out.
yeah,
That'd be cool.
yeah. So she was doing all of that for me, and then my clients started wanting some videos because video is just the way to go, especially for Facebook ads. Like you can get more eyes on
Absolutely.
video than anything else. So the more I'm
Yeah.
recommending that to my clients, I decided, let's just make this a thing where let's partner together and people can, come to us and get the video work, and then also have me do the Facebook ads and make sure that we're getting that video out into the world. So
Yeah, fantastic. No, that's great. Because video, especially 2017, 2018, it's really the big thing for Facebook. They're making such a big push with it.
oh
It's
yeah,
cheaper when you're running the Facebook ads in comparison to some things, just because it is still so new. Obviously, it'll go up to exorbitant prices at some point, but
oh it
uh,
will.
yeah, absolutely. But that's the thing. Like Facebook really wants to be a video platform, and it's fantastic that it's got that text there as well. So it can really leverage both. But with the actual video itself, it's so helpful in getting eyes on, and that's why, for instance, like with this, it's a video podcast, and then we turn it into just
Right.
an audio podcast later. And that's been great in regards to, say, growing the size of this group and things like that.
Mhm.
Now, Hassan had a question. Let's have a look. So, what methods did you use to generate your clients? Cold calling, networking, Facebook ads, etc. Oh, all right. Well, that's a great question. So, I guess when you first started out, what were you doing to find clients? Was it cold calling, or what were you doing there?
So I did a few things, but honestly, the most beneficial thing was to be as loud as I could be about the fact that I was starting a business.
Yep.
And I didn't ask people for help. I didn't say to all my friends, hey, I need clients. I just said, hey, this is what I'm doing. It's amazing. I'm awesome. And if you know anybody. And I just
Cool.
made it very general. And what was shocking to me was that I didn't get people from, my closest friends or anything like that. No, it was like the girl that I knew in 8th grade.
Okay.
Apparently she recommended me to somebody in her field
Cool.
that, I mean, I have not spoken to her since the 8th grade. Like, I don't know why she recommended me, but
Yeah.
just that visibility and having your name you want your name to be coming out of their mouth anytime they think of your industry. And so it can be somebody that you barely know, but you're the only, social media person or, web designer, whatever that they know. So they're going to recommend you. So I got my first 2 clients by really random people that happened to know me back in the day. And then from there, a lot of it was referral. Do a good job, work your ass off, and people will refer you. And then beyond that, it's been, I go on LinkedIn. I do cold message from there if somebody connects with me. But I'm not a, hey, this is the first thing I'm going to say to you is that I want your business. I'm build a relationship, make sure that they know that this is what I offer, and then, ask them if they're happy with their social media. Is their business getting enough attention on social media? And starting the conversation can really open the doors. So I believe in cold calling and cold emailing, but you have to really have something to say, not just this is about me and what I do, but make it about them and what they're doing, what their projects are. And I found that to have the most success.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, there's some great points there because, LinkedIn's something that, I really need to focus on more. I've barely touched my LinkedIn account since I made it. It's really been everything else. So, I think that's something I really need to start leveraging more. So I'll be the first to put my hand up for that. Yes, I've heard some fantastic things. So it's really just about getting it done. So, so everyone's an accountability buddy for me. By next week, I'll have my LinkedIn up and running. How about that?
All right. I'll check on that.
I'm now publicly... Yeah. All right. Done. But no, that's cool. But that's great. Like, I mean, if you're leveraging, say, platforms like LinkedIn to get in, and that's a good point in regards to not just saying, oh, this is what I do, here's me, but actually building up that rapport with people and learning what they do and what their business is. And then from there, figuring out if you can help them with that. And then it's going to work much better for you to get those clients because you've already got that rapport.
Exactly.
But those that send those once-off messages, I get those quite regularly. I think because of the group especially, I get those quite regularly. And usually I'm actually pretty good with them. I'll actually respond, but I'll help like, hey, grammatically, like change this, or I'd recommend like putting a photo there. Well, if I'm getting a cold message and like sometimes it will literally just be a link and I'm like, what's this? And I go, oh, it's my website. And I'm like, well, what do you want me to do with that? I'm like, oh, I sell X. I'm like, okay, well, I still don't know what you want me to do with that. Like, is this a pitch? Is this, you want me to look at it? So I try to very politely help them with that. I'm not rude about it because I figured if they don't know they're doing something wrong, then that's, might as well help. But I'm definitely one of those.
I always just wonder, is this beneficial to you? Like, how is this working for you if this is what you're doing, And when it comes to cold calling, cold emailing, if it's not working after a bit, then there's something wrong. Like, yes, it's a numbers game. It's absolutely a numbers game. Like, you have to do a lot of it to get anything in return. But if it's, if you're 100 people deep or more and no one's responded, you're doing something wrong and you need to adjust how you're approaching people.
Absolutely. And I guess it's just maybe once upon a time someone had said to them, just cold message in Facebook. And now they've kind of just stuck with that and using it daily. Because, I mean, if you look at Instagram, like the open rates for messages is still massive. Like it is absolutely massive. Like, for some it's in the 90th percentile. So, that's fantastic. But it's still getting to that point where with Facebook now, you can see that there's, a little bit of text beforehand so you can see what it is. And if it's just a link, you're not going to open it.
Nope.
Yeah. So Hassan has said, a roosting point of mine on my own business page is completely dead. Although I'm fine creating content for my clients, I never know what to post on my own page. Okay. Well, I mean, Hassan, I guess it's, first of all, it's like, well, what are you trying to achieve with it? Like, is it posts that you're putting out there to, get engagement, or is it just you're selling something? I mean, Sabrina, I'm sure you've got some fantastic value to add for this one.
So when it comes to a dead page, you have to first look at, okay, who's already there? Like, who is your audience there? If it is mostly people that you like acquired really early on that are your friends and family that really don't care about your business, then your page is going to stay dead. You need new people in the door. You need to get new eyes on your content from people who are actually interested in your content. So one of the best ways to get new eyes is, you're not posting about necessarily like what you offer, but maybe something more inspirational, post quotes, post even something viral that might be applicable to your business in some way, like post it on that page. And then, you can maybe boost it, which I don't typically recommend boosting a lot, but this is like one of those cases where it's appropriate, just to get more eyes. And then once people start liking that piece of content, you can invite them to like your page. And because they've already interacted with a piece of your content, they're much more likely to continue interacting with that content as you're posting more and more. So, instead of just running like campaigns to grow something, really focus on that engagement side of it. And, think about what it is that you engage with on Facebook. I feel like there's this huge disconnect with people between what, they're actually posting on their own pages and what they interact with. So, think about it from the follower's point of view or the consumer's point of view. Like, is it shareable? Is it something you would share to your page, or would you be like, no, I'm embarrassed, I would not post that or share that? So we have to think about who we're talking to and whether or not they will actually enjoy it and want to share it.
Yeah, no, there's some great tips there. So, I mean, especially coming back to the whole, if it's viral and if it's applicable, post it and, repost it. That's great, because if it's viral, you already know it's working. People are already interacting with it. They're already enjoying it. You don't have to own the piece of content to basically just share it. So, if you're posting that on your page and you've given a shout out to wherever you got it from, or whatever you need to do for legality reasons, but it's something, and we won't touch on that today. But yeah, I mean, if something's already viral and it's working, then why not? Like, I remember there was one piece of content I had for an old page, which was in the fitness space, and it was just a bowl of fruit, but it was shaped into the shape of one of those angry birds, and that worked great. Like, I boosted it. I spent like $10, and that got well over like 1,000 bits of engagement on it, which I thought was really cool for something I didn't really know what I was doing at the time. So I thought, well, this is great. Like, for $10, and I've got all these people that I can now, as you mentioned, if they've interacted already, you can then invite them to like your page. So I'd open it up, and just there'd be this list here of all these people that would have liked the page. Liked the image. So when you click on who's liked the actual image, it'll give you a whole list of people, and then next to it, there's just this button and it says invite. So you just click all the way down. And then within a few minutes, you've invited, many, many people to your page, and then some will respond, some won't. But then the next day you look and some more have responded. And that's how you can organically grow it, by using a piece of viral content that you didn't create, but it's already working. So you've leveraged that for the better.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. So, I mean, when with boosts, what's your take on boosting posts? You said you're not a huge fan, and I'm the same. But what were your reasons for not wanting to boost the post from an expert point of view?
So it's better to make it an ad than to boost it. Just because if you actually go into Ads Manager and you can actually make a post that you've had on your page an ad. So the reason that that's better is just because you have better targeting capabilities, and Facebook actually does behave differently when it's an ad versus a boosted post, and just statistically we have found it works better to make it an ad. So kind of generally don't recommend doing a boost unless you don't feel like doing the whole process of going into Ads Manager, which I totally get. Like, I've done it from my phone. If I have a post that's doing well and I don't want to like wait until I'm at my computer, I'll just boost it for $5, and then I'll be like, I'll get to it later. But
I'll leave it for later.
Generally it's better to like go through the work of making it an ad instead of boosting the post.
Yeah, good call. And you can do split tests as well, whereas if it's a boosted post, it's just the one piece of content, and unless you're then going into Ads Manager with it, you really don't know what the possibilities are. Where if it's an ad and it's the same image but different text, or same text, different image, you can really split test it in that regard just to see what works better. So Amanda's written, the key is choosing content relevant to your niche, so it's more likely any new followers are within your target market. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's why I said anything, even viral stuff, like if it's not relevant, don't share it. But also, think about what does relevant mean? Because sometimes what your target audience likes, or, you know, if you have a certain group of people that you're looking to talk to, it doesn't really matter if I'm talking about social media necessarily, if it's still speaking to the same group of people I want.
Yep.
So, you know, for example, I tend to target female entrepreneurs. I have a
Cool.
very definite idea of who I'm talking to. And so sometimes, you know, I might be talking about coffee and Target, but I'm still talking to my target audience. And
Exactly. Yeah.
so those things matter. And yeah, like Amanda's saying, split testing is life. Like, just test all the things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
ignore
definitely.
sometimes what Facebook will tell you, because, you know, Facebook's like, this post is performing great, boost it. Facebook is a little bit of a liar sometimes, you guys. And so
Facebook
test
is a liar.
things.
Yeah. Like they've started doing it now, and it's almost literally every post on a business page. They'll say, "Oh, pages similar to this have boosted this for X amount of dollars, and they've received X amount of engagement." And I was like, "Huh, okay. Well, I did believe that the first three times I saw them say that." And then it's like, "All right, well now
Exactly.
it's every single time." So Facebook is a dirty liar, but Facebook, please don't shut us down if you're listening. Yeah, but no, I know what you mean. Like it's just in a case like that where, you know, split testing is absolutely fantastic, because then you really know what's going to work better, what doesn't work. And yeah, sometimes it'll say, for instance, yeah, it's your page, or your boost, sorry, your image or whatever isn't going to perform well because there's too much text or whatever else. But depending on what it is, sometimes it still goes really, really well. So
Yeah.
for the most part, you know, absolutely, if there's too much text in an image, they either won't approve it as a boost, or if it's a video or whatever. But in some cases, you ignore that and it can still go really well. So it's about kind of, I guess, using your better judgment in some cases. And especially the more you practice in doing it, then it's more a case of, all right, well, I know that, you know, this post did really well previously, even though it had a lot of text. So I'm going to try that again, but tweak it a little bit.
Right.
And yeah, that's it. So yeah, they love high cost per acquisition. Yeah, absolutely agree, Amanda, for sure.
Now, I
Yeah,
will say that overall, Facebook does want you to be successful as far as your
of
ads
course.
goes, just because, like, if you're
Yeah.
not successful, you're not going to keep giving them money.
Yep. Yep.
So they are, in some ways, you know, they definitely want you to be successful in your ads just so that you continue to do them. But that's why
Yeah.
maybe I don't trust the boost as much either, because, you know, it's just shady. I don't know. But I've also recently found something out, which I'll tell you guys is like a new little trick of mine, which is, um, you know, for video views, people tend to, you know, automatically go to video views if they want a lot of eyes on their video. I'm
Yeah.
starting to find that despite Facebook's warnings, if I do engagement for videos, I'm getting better
Yep.
results.
Oh wow. Okay. Well,
So,
that's a great tip.
so that's why I'm
Yeah.
always like, test all the things, because you have no idea. And it might not work next week. I don't know. But that's why you keep testing and you keep trying new things.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, fantastic tip there, Sabrina. Thank you for that. That I think everyone listening at home can definitely leverage that to yeah, further get, you know, more engagement and stuff. So no, that's
Exactly.
awesome. So yeah, really with everything. So with your business itself. So you know, in regards to what you're doing now, so you're saying you're getting into video creation as well for, or, you know,
Hmm.
in regards to leveraging that now as well, because if you're offering video ads, you might as well offer video as well. So how have you
Exactly.
found that that's been going? Like with when that came about, very clever thing to now shift to an offer. But yeah, where can you see that leading into?
So for me, it's going really well. I actually we're talking to several people right now who have seen my videos, and so I've had people coming to me for advice for video work now for, you know, months, because they've seen my own, and I've just been saying, well, you could, you know, do this or that. And now we're just changing that and saying, well, you can hire us to do this.
Yep, yep.
um, and also, even just, you know, because we can't necessarily be there to film, but we can teach people how to do it themselves and send us, you know, good footage to edit, or doing consultations to teach people about, you know, how to do lighting and all of that, and don't let my current lighting situation fool you. I know how to do lighting, I promise.
Yeah.
But just taking, it really was something that we saw was an opportunity. So it's really just changing the answers to the questions we've been getting, which is now you can hire us. So
yeah, oh, that's fantastic. Well, that's it, and it's a very clever thing to do because it's really just changing that conversation to being like, all right, well now we can offer that, opposed to just being pointed in the right direction. So that's excellent.
right.
So in regards to your business itself, so for anyone looking to get in touch with you and things like that, what would you recommend? With links and things like that. Like, do you have you said you got your website and Facebook business pages and things like that as well. What's the best way for people to get in touch with you to utilize your services?
So you can always check me out pretty much everywhere on the internet. I am Be Truly Social. So my website, BeTrulySocial.com, at BeTrulySocial on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Sabrina at BeTrulySocial to actually contact me one-on-one. So I definitely am the school of consistency thinking. So
yep. No, that's great. Yeah, mine's RossMac88 for like all my channels, and it was purely just because I was like, someone's taking Ross McFarlane, someone's taking Ross Mac, someone's taking all these different things, and I was like, all right, what year was I born?
Yeah,
So,
I always tell people, please don't Google my name, because there is a former adult star with that name. So don't Google my name. Just come find me, Be Truly Social, and avoid the awkwardness. That was not me.
No, fair enough. No, awesome. Well, Sabrina, is there anything else that you'd like to touch base on in regards to, say, your business or value to offer here today? Because really appreciate you coming on the show. You've offered some fantastic insight into the social media industry, and just is there anything else you'd like to touch base on while we've got you on the show?
I think, no matter what industry you're in, you need to know sales or hire someone to do it. That's really been the key to my, quick success, is being able to get on a sales call and be confident and show people that I can help them, and, making it about helping them. And so whatever industry you're in, whatever it is that you're doing, if you can get that sales process down, that's going to be what explodes your business. So a lot of times, I totally agree with, focus on learning and getting your doing what you do well. But if you don't have the sales part, it does not matter how amazing you are at what you do if nobody knows it.
Yeah, good call. Awesome. All right, well, Sabrina, thank you so much for coming on the show. This has actually been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
It's been my pleasure, absolutely. So Sabrina Torres, everyone, and thank you for investing your time with us here today with watching. So if you'd like to get in touch with Sabrina, please let us know. Just the comments below will be for all of her websites and things like that, so you can get in touch. Thank you. And if you got value from this, please let us know. #value. Would absolutely love to hear from you. So Sabrina, thank you again for coming on, and I'd love to hear how things are going.